And happy February. We made it through January. How are we doing today? Happy Monday. Sure, I got this set up. Who do I have here? Hi, meditators. Welcome. Introduce yourself. Hi, Elisa. Welcome, beautiful. Hi, Kathy. I love the photo of your dog. Hello, LK. Hi, Macarella. I like your name. That's beautiful. From the Netherlands. Hi, Karen. Oh, welcome, welcome. Hi, Inga. How you feeling today, soulmates? How are we doing? Hi, Kathy from Florida. Thank you for joining. How are we doing today, soulmates? How are we really doing? Again, how are we feeling? I always have to do the check-in. Checking on our mind, bodies, and souls on a scale of 1 to 5. How are we feeling today? My phone keeps shaking. Hopefully everybody is at a, may not be at a 5, but it's not at a 1. How do we do? We survived January. You feeling like a 4 out of 5. Wonderful, Macarella. That's what I love to hear. Awesome. Who did I just have? Hi, Yana. Hello, beautiful. Thank you for joining. That is wonderful news. So happy to hear because, like I said, 2025 is been interesting already. January started out with a bang, to say the least. And now that we are in February, I feel like a lot of the things that were kind of lingering from January, which was pretty chaotic to say the least, should start to shift and change a little bit more now. Because as you know, planets are changing, things are shifting. We'll be having Venus going into retrograde next month. She's actually going to be moving into Aries. So the energy right now for men and women, for the entire collective, again, we're going through an evolution. And in particular, we are going through it in our relationships. And for those of you that have been joining my lives for a while now, you will know I've been talking about this since November, since Pluto moved into Aquarius. And I told you that this was going to be a very pivotal moment for us collectively. Technology is going to be evolving and changing and growing. Our relationships, our connections. But right now, things are going to be kind of chaotic. They're going to be volatile because we're being shaken up. We're going through a period now where it's time for us to purge, to release patterns, relationships, jobs, anything that is no longer going to serve the highest version of you and who you are becoming. Whether you know it or not, soulmates, we are all going through this shift. And I was on a call earlier today talking about this. Ironically, I shouldn't say ironically, because nothing is irony. Everything is happening for us. I scheduled this topic for this live maybe 2 weeks ago. Now, at the time, I didn't know why. But again, whenever spirit speaks to me and I feel like it's something I need to share with the collective, I'm going to have a live about it. But then today, it made perfect sense as to why I scheduled this live. Because right now, most of us are going through a huge karmic shakeup. Hello, Mr. Inner City. Welcome. And I want to ask you, soulmates, have you ever met someone who shook your world? Maybe it was someone who felt very familiar, like you've known them before, maybe like you've known them forever, even though you just met them. Or maybe you met somebody and the connection was very intense. Maybe it was painful. Maybe you had a connection or a relationship with someone and it just changed your life entirely. Now, these are not accidents. This is actually karma. These are karmic relationships. And I know we hear people say karma a lot, but I want us to actually understand what that means and what that is looking like, because it's playing out in our lives. We all have karmic debts because our souls have all come here to release these debts so we can create the life that is truly aligned with our soul's purpose. Love is this binding force that unites us through universal consciousness. I consider the divine, God is love. The universe itself is love. We are all love. Love is what binds us. It binds all of us together. Whether you want to admit it or not, it does. But it also challenges us and it stretches us in ways that we don't always understand. And most often it's uncomfortable. It's through love and relationships that we encounter the most growth, the most profound opportunities for growth. And I want to pause right there because I don't think we look at that a lot when we're in our relationships. Hey, Jack. Hey, Elisa. Welcome. I don't think we think about our connections and our partnerships like that. But what we're experiencing right now, everything that is going on in our lives, in the collective, is karma. Karma is this invisible thread that is tying all of us to these experiences. And it's not about punishment nor rewards, because let's be honest, whenever we hear someone say karma, we instantly think, oh, I did something good or I did something bad. Now it's going to be bad karma on me. Yes and no, but it's deeper than that. It's really ultimately about balance. So every thought, every word, every action, remember, everything that we do carries energy. And that energy will eventually return to us in some form, some way, or some fashion. So think of karma as like an echo. It's the energy that you send out, which always finds its way back. Now, sometimes that's instantly. Sometimes it can take years. And sometimes it can truly happen throughout your entire lifetime. But the key to karma is, it's not just about consequences. It's about the lessons. Right now, we are going through these karmic patterns because it's time for us to learn the lessons. It's time for us to pay off these karmic debts. It's time for us to grow. And that's what karma is here to teach us. It's helping us grow. It's not trying to punish us. But if we keep facing the same struggles, it's often because we haven't yet learned the lessons that the universe is essentially trying to teach us. So again, karma is that echo. The energy that we are putting out, whether that's love, whether that's fear, whether that's control or kindness, that bounces back in ways we may not even expect it. It's not about payback. It's about learning and evolving, about balancing. Karma governs the lessons that we're here to learn and the debts that we do have to repay. And relationships in particular, especially, are one of the most powerful ways that our karma manifests. If you think about some of your relationships in the past, relationships currently, maybe you're going through a shift right now in your own relationship. What is it revealing to you? Are you noticing some patterns in your relationship dynamics? Because that's how karma looks. It's going to reveal any of those patterns that we need to break and heal so that we can grow, so that we can embrace something better, something more in alignment for ourselves. Exactly, Mr. Inner a boomerang. It's the 8. It's the infinity symbol. That's exactly what it is. Hey, Damien. Hey, Gus. The fabric of humanity was crafted long before we arrived here. What we experience is always about who we have the opportunity to become. Absolutely. It's the cause and effect. It's essentially what goes around comes around. So that's why I'm so intentional about putting out positive energy. Doing this work allows me to create positive energy, to be in a flow state of love and connection. And this is the area that we are all going to evolve to. But in order to get there, we got to let go of the karmic debts, the karmic weights, the karmic patterns, the karmic relationships that we have outgrown. Karma is here to reveal those lessons, those patterns. And whether you do it or not, soulmates, you can't outrun yourself. It will scream at you. 2025 is the year of the great awakening. You cannot outrun your karmic debts this year. You cannot. Think about what we're experiencing in the world right now. Everything that was done before is going to manifest in some way or the other. It won't look the same, but it will show up again if we have not learned the lessons. Now, karma in relationships especially hits differently. Because most often than not, our relationships usually start out very exhilarating. Sometimes our relationships can be devastating. But they're everything in between. Good, bad, happy, or sad, right? But one thing is for sure, they always leave a mark, regardless. If it was a real relationship that you were fully in and you were heart, soul, body connected, and then maybe something happened and it ended, absolutely it leaves a mark on you. But these relationships aren't random and they don't end for no reason. They're soul contracts. Our souls have contracts with people in our lives for a reason. Some of these people are just for a season. But these contracts were made way before this lifetime. We made these contracts so that we can resolve any unfinished business, repay any karmic debts, so we can finally grow into the best version of ourselves. I don't know about you, soulmates, but the way life had been looking for me, I don't want that life. I'm tired of that life in this lifetime and the next. I don't want to continue making the same mistakes that I did 10, 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago, or last year for that matter. So these relationships, they reflect our past wounds, whether unresolved or not. Any past issues from a past relationship, any trauma from your childhood, or even previous lifetimes. Again, we have these moments. How many of us have ever experienced deja vu? Hey, Thompson. That feeling of I've been here before, or I've experienced this conversation before, or why does it feel like I've done this before? Deja vu is a thing, but I believe it's deeper than just, oh, this feels familiar. I do believe that that's our souls reliving a previous experience with certain people from a past life. So when we have our karmic connections, they're coming up to show us parts of ourselves that we need to let go of. Karmic debts is essentially the central theme of what 2025 is showing us this year. So maybe in a past life, you hurt somebody. And now in this lifetime, they show you compassion. They teach you how to love, how to be more connected. Or perhaps you relied on somebody too heavily. Maybe you were too overly dependent on someone. And in this lifetime, you're learning to stand on your own. I believe for me, that was my lesson. That has been my karmic lesson to date, is learning how not to be too emotionally dependent on someone else, which is why I struggle so hard with my mental and emotional health in this lifetime, because I wasn't understanding the lesson. My soul was trying to get me to see that what it was that I was seeking and the relationship was within, but I couldn't understand that until I hit rock bottom, basically. And most often than not, these lessons are not easy, but nothing is easy. That's how you learn. You don't learn from the easy things. You learn from the lessons. And in growth, in pain, you can turn that into purpose. So how do you know you are in a karmic relationship currently? Well, here are some signs. Instant recognition. Think about how you first met the person. Maybe when you all first met, depending on how long you've been together, maybe the connection started out real intense. It felt very, very familiar. Maybe it was just a physical connection. Maybe it felt like you've known them before. I've had that experience twice already with romantic partners, but even most recently with a platonic partner. I just met a young lady less than a week ago, and instantly she and I just connected. And I knew that, oh, we know each other. We just met in this lifetime, but the way she and I instantly gravitated towards each other, and it wasn't anything romantic because this is me co-creating with those that are in alignment with me. Remember, soulmates, we're talking about being in alignment, but we got to let go of karmic debts, karmic relationships. We have to close certain doors in order for new doors to open. So if you were in a connection that started out intense in the beginning, maybe it felt familiar, or maybe you're in a relationship that's an emotional roller coaster, extreme highs and extreme lows, followed by moments of deep love, only to be followed by more chaos and conflict. I was in a situation like that recently, something I had never experienced before, and it baffled me because I couldn't understand what was happening. But it was because I was repeating a pattern. That's what these lessons, that's what these relationships show us. The same dynamics, whether it's from your past relationship or even a past lifetime. They're showing up now because it's time for you to let them go. It's triggering your shadow self. How many of us are being triggered right now in our relationships? It could even be somebody at work that's triggering you, or in your family. It's triggering your shadow self because the relationship is essentially forcing you to confront deep fears, insecurities, or any unresolved pain so that you can finally release it once and for all. Hey, Jacqueline, welcome, beautiful. So I want to ask you, soulmates, and I want you to be very honest with me. This is a safe space. These connections that you're in right now, what are they teaching you? Are you evolving, or are you stuck in a cycle of pain and resistance? I was talking to somebody earlier today because they're going through a karmic lesson. In fact, they're ready to make a change, but they're afraid of being able to make the change. How many of us know we need to change? We want to change, but we're not ready yet to make the change. Are you stuck? Are you being resistant? And if you don't address it now, guess what? It's going to continue. 2025 is not playing around with us, soulmates. If these foundations are not solid, everything will show. The cracks will continue to crack open. That's mentally, physically, emotionally, in our partners, at work, financially, in the world, collectively. We're seeing it. We're feeling it. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the donation. How many of you have been in a relationship where it was this constant push and pull? Because karma is not fair. Karma does not operate on fairness. It operates on balance. Olivia, hey Tiff. Tiff says, I struggle with trusting the version of myself that's guiding some decisions. Tiff, you know what? Thank you for saying that, because that's what the individual that I was talking to earlier today, that's basically what they said. They said, I'm trying to navigate this new version of me, and I feel like I've lost the old version of me so much so that almost as if they're feeling lost, like they can't find themselves. And that's where we are right now. We're in this crossroad. Like I said in my video last week, we're at a crossroads right now, soulmates. And we have to ask ourselves some honest questions. Olivia says, I had a friend I thought I was close with, but I guess I wasn't. So Olivia, that's the thing. We're outgrowing people now. Maybe the lesson was learned. It's time for you to cut the cord. It doesn't mean that you don't still love them, but maybe it's time for you to find friends that are more in alignment with who you are. And who's to say that this friend won't return? Sometimes you have to separate to elevate. And then maybe you can reconnect. To such as ending relationships. Ending a relationship is so very hard. especially when you have not seen people do it in a healthy way. And if you are afraid of being alone, and let's be honest, a lot of us are. We don't want to be alone. So we'll settle and we'll just stay stuck, stay stagnant. Alan says, I'm learning to acknowledge and appreciate the people who are showing up. Exactly, Alan. Allow the people that are for you to show up, because the people that are for you will still be there. Those are what I would like to call soulmates, right? But if you're in a push and pull type of dynamic, again, that's not balance. That's somebody fighting for power, fighting for control. And sometimes this can feel like deep love and connection at first. But then once you start doing the push and pull dance, it gets chaotic. It can lead to heartbreak, to loss, to conflict. So whether the relationship was joyful or painful, the goal is always the same. It's about growth. So think about the relationships that have shaped you the most. Were they smooth and effortless? Probably not. And were they perfect? Absolutely not. But the ones that truly change us, the ones that leave a lasting mark, those are often the most challenging relationships, because they are stretching you, breaking you open. Because our relationships, again, they're reflections, they're mirroring who we are, reflecting back our deepest wounds, our patterns, and our unresolved lessons. And then when karma is at play, you'll find that certain people just cannot stay into your life where you are going. You're stepping into a transformation, and everybody is not able to go through this with you. So karma shows up in so many different ways in our relationships. For example, maybe you were the independent soul. Maybe you were the very independent type in the past life or in the current lifetime. Maybe you were someone who prided yourself on being super independent. So you'll meet a partner who forces you to confront your emotional walls. Maybe you struggle with being vulnerable. You resist being vulnerable. And over time, what you realize is that this relationship is not trying to break anybody. It's trying to teach this individual how to trust, how to open up and let love in. But most of us have emotional walls up. Yeah, we all want love, but then we reject it. Have to balance it. Maybe you're the overly dependent soul, like I was, relying on somebody for emotional stability. Or maybe you're someone who always relies on somebody financially or even spiritually. Maybe you find yourself with a partner who was always asking you to rescue them. And at first, it can feel like abandonment, but eventually, this person will have to learn the lesson. They'll have to see that in order for them to develop their strength and their ability and their inner power, they got to learn how to be self-sufficient, emotionally dependent, financially independent. But again, it's about balance. We can do this together. It's not forcing one or the other to give more than the other is giving less. So if you're in a connection like this right now, ask yourself, where are you noticing the imbalances? Somebody is messaging me and I don't see the comment. It should be 1 million people on here. Hurt. I know. That's okay, King. They'll get on here because there's a lot of us in these patterns right now. We are going through it, and I'm trying to help us grow through it because we can grow through it. And I remember, what was this? Maybe a week or so ago, a gentleman was on my live and he noticed how he was repeating things. It felt like he kept going through the same motions over and over again. It's a repeating pattern because you're not learning something. Have you ever felt like you keep attracting the same kind of partner? You're having the same arguments over and over again, maybe the same type of heartbreak. How many of us keep feeling like we can't find Mr. Right or Mr. Wrong or Miss Right or Miss Wrong? And maybe it's not them. Most often than not, it's not you can't find the right person. It's that you have not found it within. You don't know your value, your worth. You have not learned your karmic lesson. This is your karma. So when the relationship ends, that's your karma because you're still making the same mistakes. You're still choosing partners based on the same things that you did 5 years ago. Karma is trying to show you something. There's an unresolved lesson that you have to learn. Whether that's learning how to set boundaries. Maybe you have to learn how to trust your intuition. You know when somebody ain't good for you, yet you ignore your intuition and you give it a chance anyway. Or maybe you have to learn the lesson on how to break free from toxic cycles. Karma will keep you repeating the same lessons until you have learned it, mastered it, and realized that I'm ready for more. I don't want this anymore. I deserve more than this. Again, karma is here to teach you. These relationships, they're not by coincidence. They're not random. I don't believe in coincidences, soulmates. Everything is always happening for us. Always happening for us. Everybody that's here tonight, you're not here by coincidence. You're here because your soul led you here. Just like our karmic connections. It's tailored to your soul's evolution. But karmic relationships are not meant to last, soulmates. Once the debt is repaid, once the lesson has been learned, most often than not, the relationship should naturally dissolve, but the challenge is knowing when to hold on and grow versus when to let go and move forward. You gotta learn and know when to hold them and when to fold them. Stop staying in places that you have outgrown. I was telling the person I was talking to earlier today, you know you don't see a future for this connection, yet you're afraid of having the conversation. Do you not know that your partner is out there waiting on you, but you are wasting time here because you're afraid of having a conversation? Even though you know you deserve more, you don't see a future. Well, if today is your last day here on earth, wouldn't you rather be focusing on your future and finding that person that's truly meant for you? Or are you going to stay here stuck in a situation that you know you're not happy with? Alan, yeah. Who'd you say? Yana, wow. Yeah, it's powerful. How many of us stay in relationships, or how many of us have stayed in a job and it's just, well, I know I'm not happy, but I'm not willing to make a change. Okay. Well, you must not be that dissatisfied. You must not be that unhappy. But 2025 is going to make you decide. You have to make some decisions this year, soulmates. It's one way or the other. We can't keep one foot in an old timeline and one foot in the new timeline. We have to be 10 toes down in the new timeline that your soul is trying to get you in alignment with. How many of us had these relationships where it was so intense? Soon as you connected, it came into your life like a bolt of lightning, shaking everything up. I had this experience last summer. But these soul catalysts is what I like to call them. They're not meant to last. They're here to shake things up. They don't just teach you a lesson. They force you into action. When I say I went through so much chaos in this connection last year that I realized I couldn't stay here. I couldn't stay stuck, and it made me change. It showed me where I had grown. It showed me so much so that I was able to look at my past and realize I've come such a long way. I deserve more than this. So why am I staying here? And I don't mind making the choice to choose me first because I love me enough to know better now. And I'm not wasting time. My soul has a purpose. Your soul has a purpose. We have connections that are truly meant for us, but we can't get there if we're stuck in relationships that are not meant for us anymore, that we have outgrown, that are in balance. Hey, Olivia, I don't know if this means something, but I've been grieving versions of me I could have been, but was too scared. I just hope another opportunity comes. Thank you, Olivia, for sharing that. And The version of you that you want is already within you, Olivia. You can't outrun the opportunity that's inside of you. As long as you're here and you're alive, you'll find it. And feel free to reach out. I would love to help you with that. But the opportunity that you want is within you. The fact that you just said that lets you know that that version of you is just waiting on you to say, come on out. Create that future version of you. You know that version of who you are. You know the version of you that your soul signed up for. How many of us had an experience where you met somebody and you just cannot make a round peg fit into a square hole? But yet you're in this push-pull dynamic and you get these intense moments of gratification, or maybe it's an intense physical connection. But when all that fizzles out, what is left? Soul catalysts appear when you're stuck, when you're resisting change, and when you're truly ignoring your true path. Because they're here to ignite something inside of you so that you can break free from those old patterns, push you into a new phase of your evolution. That's what I went through. And by the time 2024 ended, it dawned on me, it became clear as day. I had my epiphany, my awakening moment. And that energy was powerful and it was chaotic. Hey, Linda. Hey, Gary. How you doing, friend? It's good to see you. And it's often common to lose versions of you. Guess what, Olivia? You're going to go through that a lot. A lot of us are grieving the old versions of us because it's a shift, it's a change, and it's different. But we have to let go of the old version of us. Some of us are still, like I said, 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And this year is going, I assure you, by the time this year ends, soulmates, it will feel like the roller coaster ride of your lifetime. You will feel like you just gotten off a roller coaster with your head spinning, with your hair all over the place, because you are going to go through these releases, old versions of you. You won't be the same person you are today next month, especially come summertime. Everything that we're going through right now, these rapid shifts are happening for a reason. Radical self-acceptance, radical awakening moments are happening because it's time. We can't stay stuck any longer. Some of these relationships that you are in are so powerful and so overwhelming that you don't even realize what it really is trying to show you and teach you. You get so addicted to the highs and the lows. But what you're not understanding is you're stunting your growth, your transformation. You're stopping yourself from evolving if you keep opening up the same door and nothing is changing. You can change the frame, but the picture will remain the same if you are not willing to learn the lesson and change. This energy and these relationships, you don't understand how powerful they are. Sometimes they can be extremely overwhelming. They hit your lowest chakras, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus. Think about it, soulmates. How many times have you been in an argument with somebody that you love or a partner, and your stomach, you get this tightness in your stomach. You get this anxiety feeling. It's your emotions. Oftentimes, what I've learned from men is that they either shut down completely, they won't say anything at all, which is, again, an emotional reaction, but it's not the right reaction because you deserve to allow yourself to be heard. And then women, we get powerless over our emotions and we over attack. Then we become overly emotional. Again, there's an imbalance. But either way, we're disconnected. So nothing is getting resolved. So now you're messing up the energy in your body, in your mind, in your soul, in your house, in your relationships, in your connections. Don't you see it is triggering these emotional wounds? Triggering deep emotions like passion, attraction, or even obsession. How many times have you been in a connection where you ended up realizing the person became too obsessed with you? I had an experience like that, and I could not understand what this was teaching me. I just thought the person was crazy and blocked them. But what I realized is lesson learned, because I didn't tell the universe what it was that I really wanted for myself. Again, you got to get serious. You got to be willing to learn the lessons. Are you outgrowing these relationships? Like I told the gentleman earlier today, you know you want more. So why are you not choosing more for yourself? When are you going to know that you deserve that? And you deserve it now. And he told me it's because he does not want to deal with her emotions. But that does you a disservice. And it doesn't have to be dealing with the negative emotions. Because again, when I'm talking about love, if you love somebody enough to say, you know, I'm just not happy with where this is going, and I don't see a future for us. So I think it's best we go our separate ways, because I love us enough to allow us both to be liberated, to be free, to be in alignment with what's truly meant for us. There's nothing selfish about choosing you first. Hey, Solomon. Good evening, soulmate. Hurt. It is. It's hurt. Again, it goes back to the ego. I wanted inner child. But if you don't learn the lessons, and if you don't learn how to put the ego to the side and heal your inner child, then guess what? You're going to go through the same karmic lesson, the same karmic pattern repeatedly. Same relationship, different person. Same end result, same outcome. But make no mistake though, their purpose, the purpose of these relationships is not necessarily about romance. I realized that in the situation I was in last year, it wasn't about a romantic connection. It was transformative. I was in it to learn a lesson for me to grow and be better. But I was so concerned with trying to fix them too that I had to realize, you know what? That's not my battle. I learned my lesson. I can't stay here. Not when I know that there's more for me. My divine union, my divine counterpart, he's out there, and I'm sitting here trying to fix somebody when I'm missing out on my true alignment, my true connections. That's what you do, soulmates. You are not allowing yourself to attract what's meant for you when you stay stuck in karmic relationships, when you're not learning the lessons. Once you've learned the lesson, once you have the transformation, that's it. The job is done. Once you've been shaken, once you have awakened, the lesson is yours now to carry out. It's your opportunity. Now you have to move forward, which means you may have to exit their life just as quickly as you arrived in their life. Not every relationship is meant to last. But then you do have relationships that are meant to last. And they are not necessarily romantic in nature. Because not all relationships are karmic or catalytic. And right now, a lot of us are in alchemical processes of healing and growing. So you're in a catalytic state in your connections. But then you have those that are not like that. Those that are my soulmates. The people that make you feel like home. Soulmates come into your soul group, a network of souls that journey through lifetime together. I told you I met this young lady last week, and I knew instantly she is somebody that my soul feels at home with. I feel safe with her. She can see my inner light, and I can see her light. And together we are going to transform lives. She has a gift, I have a gift, and we're both living in our purpose, sharing our gifts with the world. Then I have other soulmates. There's somebody that I met 6 years ago. Actually, no. I met him when I was a teenager, but he and I didn't really connect until about 6 years ago. And during that time, when he and I really started getting to know each other, I was going through a very, very dark moment in my life. In fact, just as he and I had really started to get to know each other, I had my attempt. And I was in and out of the hospital, but this person always checked in on me. He never judged me. And for whatever reason, I did not feel ashamed to tell him what I was dealing with, because he didn't judge me. In fact, he made me feel comfortable. And we don't talk every day. We didn't talk every day. But most recently, he and I connected, and he reached out to me on one Sunday afternoon, and he said, "How are you feeling today?" And I wasn't feeling my best, my greatest. And the old me almost wanted to say, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm good. What about you?" Because that's what I normally do. Again, we hide behind the mask so quick to say I'm fine when we're not. So I let him know, I'm not really that great. He said, "I'm not either." And in that moment, I said, "That's why you reached out to me. You energetically can feel that I was not okay." And he and I have been like that for the last 6 years. It's like we don't talk to each other every day, but he's always on time for me if I call, and vice versa. That's what I mean by having soulmates. And no, we don't have a romantic connection, but he is somebody that I can truly feel safe with. I feel at home with, and I can be me with. Maybe you have soulmates at work, because a lot of us have colleagues that feel like home, that feel safe. And that's a wonderful feeling. But when you're in unbalanced connections, karmic relationships, soul catalytic relationships, you can't find the soulmates. You can't find your soul tribe if you're not in alignment. You want to find connections that reflect who you are, reflect the version of you, of where you're going. Soulmate connections are often marked by a deep sense of familiarity, oftentimes comforting, and above anything, unconditional love. Yes, Gary, tell people how you actually feel. You'd be surprised by how much they care. And we live in a world, Gary, where we do not allow people to do that. We can't even be honest about how we feel emotionally. Men still walk around pretending like they're okay. And guess what, Kings? You cannot outrun yourself. Every person that I've been working with since I've been doing this work has been a man. And there's a reason why. It's because emotionally, I can understand what it's like to live in this shadow, in this bubble, to pretend like you okay when you're really not. When you're dying on the inside, but you're trying to act like you're okay, because I've been there. And I'm trying to help us free ourselves, help you find your voice, help you not be afraid of your emotions. And I'm finding, Gary, that now that they've seen me do this, they're able to see how much I care, and they open up and they connect, because they have nothing to lose with me, right? I'm not romantically aligned with them, but I have safe space for them. I'm doing great, Gary. Thank you for asking. How are you? I'm a 5 today. I always do a check-in to see how we're doing mentally and emotionally. So I always ask the soulmates to check in 1 through 5, 5 being good. And I'm a 5 today. So thank you for asking. Hey, Zen Chris. Hello, Tavares. Thank you for joining. A 5-6, Gary. That's wonderful news. I'm happy to hear that, because I know you and I, soulmate. It feels like, so for soulmates that don't know, I'm on Insight Timer. And Gary is somebody I've never met in person. Never met this man a day in my life. But ever since I've been on Insight Timer, he and I have this energetic connection. Whenever he's going through his lowest moments, I'm going through it. And whenever I would show up in the live, I would always say, "I wonder where Gary is." And he would show up. This is what I mean by having soulmates, because I call you soulmates for a reason, because you're my soulmates. I do feel connected to those that are connected with me. And for some of us, we're more in alignment. We're more in tune with the energy, with the energetic flow. I've met people like Gus, for example, who's in alignment with me, helping me create in the back end, doing the things that I couldn't figure out how to do. Then I met Yana. Again, people that are in alignment, in the flow state with where I'm at. Remember, we're attracting, we're not chasing after anything, because we're in alignment. When you're willing to learn the lessons and let go of the relationships, close the doors that need to be closed, cut the cords that need to be cut, then you find the people that are aligned with you. Hey, Evie. How you doing, Queen? That's how you find your soulmate. But don't get me wrong, soulmate relationships aren't always perfect either. because they will reflect your lights and your dark shadows, but they help you evolve into something gentle, sometimes challenging, but they're still there. They still make you feel like home. So you don't feel like they're challenging you or they're trying to control you. You know that they come from a place of love, unconditional love. They want you to be better. They're helping you grow right along with them. If I eat, we all going to eat. They're not trying to stab you in the back. They're not trying to take what they can take from you and run. They're not trying to drain you. They're trying to support you. They're in alignment with you. Thank you, Gary. You definitely did. You are one of the reasons why I'm sitting here doing what I'm doing today. You definitely were very instrumental and encouraging me to do this. So thank you. Absolutely. So thank you to my soulmates. Again, my soulmates. You all challenge me to be better. I do this so I can come and help you all navigate these shifts because we're going through some shifts. We saw January, 11 more months, and now we're in February, but it's still a little more chaos, but we're getting through it. So find your soulmates. And when I mean soulmates, again, this can be a romantic partner. Maybe you have a romantic partner. Hopefully you do have a romantic partner that can help you discover new depths of love, help you find new versions of you, help you discover your self-worth even more than you can see yourself. They can see the light in you. Or maybe that's a lifelong friend. I have so many wonderful friends in my life that I've been knowing either since I was a child, high school, or college. And I'm so grateful for these lifelong friendships because they're family. They walk beside me through my hardest moments and my most beautiful moments, but they're always there. No, we may not talk every day, but they're always on time. Our family members that challenge us, that have inspired us, or maybe they taught us some profound lessons about forgiveness, compassion, or resilience. I know I learned a lot. I learned a lot about my dad, appreciating the love and who he was as an individual, and knowing that even though when he was alive, I had a lot of anger and resentment, but now that he has transitioned, I've forgiven him. I've learned to forgive him because I was doing myself a disservice. I was so angry with him that I was taking it out in my marriage. That's what I mean by lessons that we have to learn. And I kept attracting men like my father because I couldn't understand the lesson that spirit was trying to get me to see. You're attracting emotionally unavailable partners because this is all that you saw, but you don't know, beautiful, you deserve more than this. And no, my father couldn't teach me that lesson in this lifetime, but he taught it to me in the next life. So I received that lesson. I've learned that lesson. Our soulmates are the safe spaces where we can heal, where we can grow, where we rediscover who we truly are. They don't bring us down. How many of us have seen people that have been in relationships and you see them change for the worse? And soulmates, let's be honest, maybe you yourself seen you change for the worse because of a partner. How many of us have lost ourselves in our connections? I know I've done it quite a few times. I'm not going to be embarrassed about it. Because we think that that's what love looks like. Love does not have to be toxic. Love does not have to be heavy, because unconditional love is just love. And you can love somebody unconditionally and walk away from them because you love you unconditionally and you love you enough to know you deserve more. So allow yourself that. How many of you have heard of the term twin flame? Don't change yourself for a connection. Never change yourself for anybody. So here's the thing, Olivia, how many of us get into our relationships think we're going to change our partner? And it does not work like that. I don't want to change anybody. I want to help us grow. I want to enhance your light parts. I don't want to change you. I don't want to raise my partner. I want to hold your hand while we glow and grow together, hand in hand, side by side, in alignment. And the only reason I'm going to change is because I want to change for me. Because that's the only person that we can be accountable for. The only ones that we can change is ourselves. But most often than not, we think we are going to change somebody else. Or we always put the onus on changing them. No, king, no queen. It's you that needs to change. Because once you change, your awareness is going to change. That's when you are going to eventually have your aha moment and realize this is not serving me. It's time for me to walk away now. I've learned my lesson. Thank you for the lesson. And now I'm ready for something better. So again, how many of you ever heard of the term twin flame? Insight Timer needs a dating app. Maybe I'll start that, Joyce. Teach us how to date consciously. Because we have to learn how to date differently now. We're no longer dating for superficial things. We're not just connecting to just be connecting. After the sex is said and done, what's next? After the money is spent, what else is there? We have to have more than just surface level connections. 2025 is going to show you that. So if you built a relationship built on strictly physical sex, guess what? You're tired of that. You want more. You deserve more. You do. Because you realize that sex is not all that's going to sustain you. Or maybe you was in a connection because of the financial benefits. But maybe you got a partner that's working all the time, or maybe they're controlling you with the finances. Guess what? That's not going to work either. Either way, your soul is trying to get you to see you're not happy here. You deserve better. Have you learned your lesson? Are you sure this is what you want? Do you still want this? Do you not think you deserve more than this? Do you truly not believe you deserve better than this? And if you do, what are you willing to do to transform? What are you willing to do to find better? You can't find anything that you don't have within. So if you're not choosing yourself by saying, I deserve better and walking away, then you're not going to receive it. All we got to do is make the choice. Hey, Tammy. Oh my goodness, Queen. I am so grateful that you are here. You must be back in the States. You know, I thought about you this weekend. I am so happy to have you here. Yes. Talking about these karmic ties. Talking about the things that Tammy, you and I have been talking about since last summer. Soulmates that don't know, Tammy and I connected on Inside Timer. Another one of my soulmates. Again, aligning with the people that are in alignment with me. And she has grown to be another one of those souls that I feel like I've known all my life. Again, she and I have a karmic connection from a previous relation or a previous lifetime. And it's a beautiful relationship because I feel at home with her and vice versa. We learn and we grow. We help each other be better. And I was sharing with her all of the things that I was experiencing in my karmic situation. As I was doing it, it was like happening in real time. And I said, Tammy, I know when it's time for me to close this door, I will, but it's not time yet until it was time. How many of us heard of the term twin flame and the illusion of the one? Because there's this concept now of a twin flame. Many believe that twin flames are like our other halves, the one that completes us, or two souls that have split to, again, combine into one. But here's what I've learned about this, soulmate, is a twin flame energy is not about finding someone else to complete you. It's about completing yourself. Twin flame connections are intense, consuming, but they're deeply transformative. However, they will come with their challenges. They will force you to evolve and heal. You all may be in situations like that right now. And you're not even willing to admit it because you can't see yourself. Thank you, Linda, for the donation. Also, soulmates, for those that are enjoying my live, please do donate. I appreciate the energy exchange. You can donate on Inside Timer. I also have the links in my link tree, as well as in my pinned post. And you can go find my link tree in my bio. And yes, Wendy, going back to what you said, I joined right as you started this conversation. I've been asking myself, Do I really believe I don't deserve more? Thank you, Wendy. And that's really what this universe, that's what universe is asking us. That is what is getting us to face. Do you not think you deserve more than this? The only way we're going to know that is if we're willing to ask ourselves these questions and be willing to do this work. Because transformation and elevation and growth work is not easy. Just like Tiff said, I get confused. I'm not really sure because it's new. It's revolutionary, but it's helping you grow. It's helping you heal. So you may be in a situation right now that you are stuck in and you can't understand why are we going through the same rigmarole? Why are we running in circles? Why are we having the same argument over and over again? This is more than just about washing dishes. But what's happening is that we are ignoring the conversations that we need to have. We're avoiding the conflict that we need to have. But again, you can do this in a healthy, loving way. But you cannot keep avoiding whatever it is you think you're sweeping up under the rug. Again, the foundation is faulty. It's cracking. It's time to change it. So you're not understanding the lesson that Spirit is trying to get you to see. Because the idea is not about clinging to these relationships. Use this as your mirror to see what it is that you are reflecting and what's being reflected back onto you for you to grow. I had to realize that I've done this work. I've healed. I realized that I don't want these types of connections. I don't want anybody trying to manipulate me. I don't want anybody trying to control me. I don't want anybody that's going to lie to me. I want somebody that's going to be just as real, genuine, and honest with me as I am with them, because that's the energy that I reflect. So what are you reflecting, soulmates? When you look in the mirror, who do you see? What do you see? What do you see in this relationship? Who do you see in that relationship? Like I said, the gentleman earlier, he knows he's not happy. But he's afraid to be honest because he's afraid of his partner's emotions. This goes back to setting boundaries. You can't sacrifice your happiness and your well-being for somebody else's emotional fulfillment. No disrespect. It's not you. I'm just pro me. I'm not against you. I'm pro me. Because I deserve that. I want to be free. Why do we have to lie, Gary? We don't have a reason to lie. What do I have to lie for? I'm grown. I'm 41. What am I lying about? And that's what 2025 is going to show you. If you're lying about something, soulmates, you can't lie it no more. Let the lie go. You can't keep the lie alive anymore. You can't outrun yourself. You have to face your shadows. So if you're in the twin flame journey right now, maybe you're going through an intense emotional situation, but are you learning? You know it's a twin flame journey because you'll be able to see how you've grown in this connection and how you essentially know you don't want this anymore. They awaken parts of you that you didn't even know existed. Case in point, I didn't realize that in my marriage with my husband, I had no idea the chaos, the turmoil that he and I were going through. But essentially what was happening is we were growing. We were transforming. And unfortunately, because we lacked the emotional intelligence and we lacked the tools to be able to communicate effectively, we couldn't understand and communicate what was happening. But I was going through a very transformative experience in my life. Like I told you guys last week, I was in my Saturn return. And I didn't understand what was happening. But I was in a connection with him. Then there were other connections that were being introduced during that time. And all of these connections and those moments were essentially showing me parts of me that I needed to see. I didn't even understand. And it wasn't until I hit rock bottom, once the marriage ended, that I realized I have to do something different. That my marriage transformed me into being a stronger, more powerful, more independent, reliant woman. So much so that I've learned so much in that situation that I can never do those things again. I can never be the same woman that I was with my husband that I'm going to be with my husband. But when you're in a relationship now and you can't even see yourself, you can't even understand the lessons that you need to learn and grow so that you can find the connections that are meant for you. because you're staying stuck. Hey, Rose, this is my first time with you, and it resonates so deeply. For years, I was trapped. For years, I was trapped. I missed your comment. Oh, I was trapped with a controlling man, and we shared a bedroom in his baby mama's house. I worked on self-love, just moved to my hometown, 1 block from the beach, in a peaceful private room. I deserve better, not with another, but better for myself. Thank you, Rose, for sharing. Hold on, soulmates, my laptop just unplugged. Thank you for sharing that, Rose, and you're absolutely correct. And at least you realize that. At least you discovered that for yourself, and you realize, like, no, I do deserve more. I want more. And that's right. But how many of us still are stuck in this space? And it's not to judge you, but it's just to be honest and to ask you, don't you think you deserve more? Don't you want more? And that's at the moment where everything is going to fall apart. So either you choose now, or universe is going to shake something up to the point where it's going to be volatile. It's going to get ugly. I'm telling you, as somebody who almost lost her life as a result of her relationship ending the way that it did. And it doesn't have to be that way. Gus says, I believe all souls are connected in the twin flame sense. But there's a once in a lifetime chance to come in contact with the one that eventually helps you evolve and learn like no other could. Yes. And I'm proud of you, Rose, for choosing you. And so going back to what you were saying, Gus, a twin flame journey. So most often than not, they start out very intense, but they're mirrors. It's a mirror for you to look at yourself. It's reflecting your deepest truths, your light, your shadow, your wounds, and your highest potential. It's, again, these relationships are not always about romantic union. And most of our twin flame connections, again, they're not about being together for a lifetime. The journey is not about union with another. It's about a union with yourself. They essentially help you find your way back to self. Twin flames serve a higher purpose because they guide you towards your ultimate evolution. That's what I went through in my relationship with my husband. And now today I'm grateful. It was painful, very painful, but I'm grateful now because now I've been able to find my truth. I found my voice. I found my strength. I found my love, most importantly. So if you are navigating a karmic connection, or if you're in a tumultuous relationship, or if you're navigating a relationship challenge right now, soulmates, I'm not saying you have to leave it, but something has to change. Something got to give. And right now you have to make a decision. Either we're going to grow together, we're going to separate and elevate. But if we're not going to do this together, and if we're not going to be honest and fully committed, meaning mind, body, soul, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, then it won't survive. Unless, of course, you want to stay stuck in that situation, but that's unfulfilling. Now your energy is being drained. Now you're depressed. Now you're dealing with anxiety. Now your sacral chakra is off. Now you're unrooted. Now you're feeling out of balance. Now your physical body is feeling it. Now you're having headaches. Now you have tension in your body. Let's be honest. Most of us are in toxic relationships, unhealthy relationships, and it's causing havoc on us because we don't want to be real and honest about what it is that we're feeling, and being honest about we not wanting it anymore, and we're being stagnant and not willing to make the change. So if you are navigating one of these connections now, I want you to reflect and ask yourself, what is this connection teaching me? What patterns or what wounds is it bringing to surface for you right now? Most of us have abandonment wounds, let's be honest. We don't want to admit it, but we do. And I'm first to admit it. I had huge abandonment problems. But I've realized that I don't have to worry about that anymore. I know why I have them, but I don't need them anymore because nothing is abandoned within me. I already got me, and I already got my soulmate. Nobody is ever abandoning us, but we feel that way, especially when it's time to end a relationship. We don't want to be alone. Sometimes we think this is the best we can do. Or maybe we're doing it because, oh, it's for financial purposes. That won't survive. And is it still serving this version of me today? Exactly, Tammy. And the version of you that is waiting on you. The future you is already there. It's up to you to find it. Even the most painful relationships hold lessons. The most painful relationships. Gratitude allows you to honor what the connection has given you. I always say thank you now. When my ex a couple years ago broke up with me, hold on one second, soulmates. I have to plug my laptop in because for whatever reason it's not plugged in and I don't want it to cut off on my Facebook friends. Don't judge, soulmates. But my arm is short and the cord is behind the couch and I can't reach it. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's see. Is it charging? It is not. Now, no, Mercury is not in retrograde, but why am I having technical difficulties? Okay, that didn't work either. So, family on Facebook, I'm sorry. I don't know why my laptop is about to die, even though I keep trying to charge it. So, you might lose me, but just join me on Instagram because it's definitely about to cut off. And Inside Timer, I'm so sorry. Hold on. I don't know why it is doing this. See? Karmic debts. Hold on. I don't know why it's not charging. Let me see. Do I have another cord? Did that work? Let me see. Okay, we're going to finish. Do what we can do while I can. Oh, yeah. You know why, Rose? Because my battery wasn't charging. It's still not charging. I don't know why it's not. But nonetheless, soulmates, I want to continue this. But I think my computer is going to go off. But I'm going to keep talking anyway. So, if you are in a karmic connection right now, again, ask yourself, what is this teaching you about yourself? What are you learning? Are you learning anything? Maybe it's time for you to set a boundary because, again, not all connections are meant to last. If it's a true relationship and if it's a real relationship, it will be solid. You won't have to worry about that if it's a deep connection. But if it's a relationship that is draining you, it's okay to step back and protect your energy. It's okay to say, no, I deserve more than this. Because you do deserve more. Why allow somebody to drain your energy when you can be somewhere in love? Finding the people that enhance your energy, not drain your energy. Learn how to protect your peace. And sometimes letting go is the best thing you can do. It doesn't mean failure. It just means that the contract is complete. The lesson has been learned. And now I'm ready to move forward. This or something better, universe. That's what I always say. This or something better. You judging me, Alan? So it's okay to let go because guess what? When one door closes, another one opens. You have to have an ending in order to have a new beginning. That's why the year of 9, 2025, this is why it's a 9 year. We have to close out some doors. We have to close some things. We have to cut some cords. It's time to release. And that's the best thing you can do, even if it's scary. And my laptop just went off. But even if it's scary, the best thing you can do is let go, release, find out what's next. what you didn't like in the relationship, what the karmic lessons were. Now you can figure out what it is that you do want. So how do you create the right partner, the right connections, the right relationships? How do you get in alignment with the people that are truly meant for you? Oh, and everything just went off. That's an interesting statement. Right. And again, we don't think about these things. Who is that? Laura, because we feel like oftentimes and not, this is the best that we can do. And that's not true. Or we just get comfortable. And sometimes starting over is difficult, especially if you've been in a relationship for a very, very long time. Maybe you all are living together. Maybe your lives are already intertwined. And the thought of starting over even gives you stress. It creates chaos. But that's the only way you can change. That's the only way that you can grow. It's in those most painful moments that you learn your lessons. So once you've learned the lesson, now move forward. Now figure out what's next. And again, sometimes you have to be alone. We don't want to be alone. We need time alone to figure out who we are and what it is that we want. Especially when we end a relationship, we get into something too soon, or we don't allow ourselves to, guess what? We don't heal. We don't learn the lessons, and we're going to repeat the same patterns over and over again. Again, you're attracting the same situations. This year, you cannot do that. It's asking you to learn so that you can attract what's for you. Sometimes we cannot see ourselves in a relationship, and it takes an outside perspective to bring it to light. It does. And that's what you're going to learn this year. We're all going through this. We're all experiencing these same type of karmic lessons, especially in our relationships. And because of where the world is headed, I can tell you cosmically, Venus is moving into Aries on March 1st, then retrograding. The last time this happened was in 2017. And I don't know what your life was like then, but I know I was going through some things in my marriage, but also the way that the world was back then. A lot of feminist organizations, a lot of feminist groups start popping up. A lot of female leaders start stepping into their power. So now we're going to see more of this. And guess what? We're all going through this dynamic shift. A lot of us are probably going to be experiencing a lot of anger right now, because all of those emotions are coming up. We can't keep hiding from our emotions. I'm someone who didn't like to be angry. I don't like anger. So I would hold it in. Then I would be depressed, because anger turned inward is depression. Now I no longer allow myself to hold my anger in. I turn my anger into something else. I put that energy into being creative, into doing something more productive. So right now we're going to be challenged a lot, especially when it comes to emotions. So if you're in a relationship right now, you're going through these emotional shifts, these ups and downs, these roller coasters. If you're having the same arguments over and over again, there's a lesson in this. There's something you need to see. And it's time for you to make a decision. You have to make a choice. I know I have a hard time letting go of relationships due to my abandonment. Thank you, Laura. And that's what I was saying before. A lot of us do. A lot of us have abandonment issues, whether we want to admit it or not. I do. I had them too. That's why a lot of us are stuck. But guess what? It's time to heal that abandonment wound. There's no reason for you to hold on to it anymore, because what you're doing is doing yourself a disservice. It's time to heal your inner child. It's time to tell her that she doesn't have to be afraid anymore, because first and foremost, Laura's not abandoning Laura. Laura got Laura. As long as Laura got Laura, you won't ever be abandoned. No matter what partner, no matter what relationship, no matter who comes in and out of your life, as long as you got you, you will never be abandoned. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. You will find somebody, but you got to know what it is that you deserve, what it is you're worthy of. I know I have those as well. Hey, Jamie, I didn't even know you was on here. And we do. And I'm glad you said that, Jamie, because we're all being triggered. All of us, men and women. Women, we're being triggered in a different way. So a lot of us will start to maybe experience more anger. Men, on the other hand, I've noticed, are experiencing it the opposite way. Like I told you, a lot of men have been reaching out, working with me, because they're trying to better understand their emotions. And also they want to have different relationships. They realize they're not happy in their relationships anymore, but they're afraid to talk to their partner because they fear their emotions. And I'm trying to get us all to be emotionally intelligent and emotionally aware enough to know that we don't have to be afraid of anybody's emotions, especially our own. Because if you're afraid of someone else's emotions, chances are you're afraid of your own emotions. And if you're emotionally independent and you're emotionally mature, which most of us are not, let's be honest, we're not. That's what this year is going to show you. These karmic relationships, these twin flames, or whatever you want to call them, they're here to teach you something. You're in a situation now. Maybe it's somebody in your life that's here to teach you a lesson. Maybe they're here for the long haul. Maybe it's just for a lesson. But either way, it's an opportunity for you to see yourself. And if it's a situation that you can't learn from, then that's a red flag right there. If you can't learn and grow in your connection, then that means you've outgrown this. This is not giving you anything. So why be in it? Why are we still here? I need more. We all need more. We're all here to love, to be loved, to co-create, to be free. Hey, balance. Twin journey is the journey of self-discovery, self-love, and fulfillment. They exist internally as projections of our internal relationship. Yes. Thank you, Balance In. That's exactly what it is. That's what I was saying before everything shut down. That's exactly what the twin flame journey is about. I learned a lot in my twin flame journey when I was married, and went through a lot. And by the time I got out of it and did all the work, I found the best version of myself that I ever could have found. Well, actually it just evolved. But had I not gone through that experience and learned those lessons, I would still be repeating them. I would still be doing the same things over and over again. And like I said, I've been married before. I don't want to be the same person I was with my husband that I'm going to be with my husband. But most of us don't learn the lessons. So we go in, same baggage, same karmic patterns, same karmic debts. And now we're commingling with people that are also doing the same. And now we both sitting here with our chaos, friction, fighting, resentment, power dynamic, basically being two immature children as opposed to being two self-aware, adult, loving individuals. That's why we're going to go through this shift. That's why for the next few months, it's going to continue to be chaotic, not only in our relationships, but even in the world, because we all have debts that we're paying. You may even be paying a karmic debt in terms of your finances. I know a lot of people, times are tight, times are hard. The world is way in debt. It's an opportunity for us to learn something here. We already know whenever there's a shift in the administration, things always get a little combative in terms of the market, right? In terms of society. So what do we need to do to better educate ourselves to make sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes? I was talking to my trainer earlier today, and he told me about a relative of his who always borrowing money from him, yet he's hood rich. And he claims he's being a player. And I said, he can't be a player if he doesn't even have money. But because you're presenting yourself as a man and a player with money, you're going to attract partners and women that only want you for that. But you can't even keep up the facade because you don't even have the money. Again, this year, we cannot create surface level relationships. That's not sustainable anymore. So if that's why you're connecting with these people, simply because of some materialistic things, money, or if it's just sex, okay, see how long that's lasting. Because now we're at a point where we got to learn and grow. We have to start healing in our connections. We have to evolve. And if you're in a connection and you're not evolving and growing, and it's not reflecting the best version of you, then that's probably not the situation for you. Oh, hi, Zan Chris. Thank you for joining me over here. Yep, exactly. Yes, Jamie, you will, girl. Just connect with me, book a call. I would love to work with you, though. Yeah. But going back to what you were saying, Laura, it's okay to admit that. And I would love to work with you on that abandonment one. Read my book, Soulmates. Again, for those that don't know, my book is coming out on the 21st. And Laura, you're going to find a lot of the things I experienced and learned, you yourself are probably experiencing and learning yourself or going through right now. A lot of people are, which is why the book is coming out now, which is why it's called Healing Out Loud. Because again, healing does not have a gender, a race, a sex, a nationality, because we all have things that we need to heal from. We all have wounds that we need to resolve and address. We can't outrun ourselves anymore. We can't keep trying to hide in these relationships that are unfulfilling, or hiding behind our work that's unfulfilling, or overworking ourselves to death because we are afraid to connect to people, because we're afraid. But we all want love, but yet we don't want to let it in. We don't even know what healthy love looks like because we've never experienced it, because we've only seen toxic love, combative love. It's a lesson to be learned here. I keep telling you all, love is not painful. Love does not look like that. Love is unconditional. So if there's a connection that you're in, find a way to make sure you find and keep the love in it. And if that means going your separate way, that's still a loving thing to do, because that means you love that other individual enough to say, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to waste no more of your time, nor do I want to waste any more of my time. I want you to find who's meant for you, just like I want to find my person. And that's the most loving thing we can do, if we're willing to be honest with ourselves. If we can find it within us first. Again, everything is within. What relationships changed you? I learned a lot from maybe 3 or 4 of them. The other ones, but that's why they were in and out. Again, the ones that really change you are probably the ones that were the most chaotic. And what you'll see in my book is I had some very chaotic relationships in my lifetime, which showed the reflection of me, because I was chaotic during those times. Some of us are still in the chaos. Now it's time to heal it. Now it's time to reveal it. The next, I would say by June, everything that we're going through right now, whether that is you realizing you're tired of a relationship or you're ready to change your relationship, by the time June gets here, you will have been and made that shift. And if not, you will have been and made that shift by the end of the year, because guess what? It's going to continue to scream at you. The universe is going to continue to throw these tests at you until you learn the lesson, until you paid your karmic debt. So that means you won't receive the good karma if you keep redoing the same thing and if you're not learning a lesson. So now you're going to create bad karma because you're not paying the karmic debts. Does that make sense? How karma works? This is the only way we can be in alignment, is when we be able to have the honest conversations and say, I love you, but I love me more, enough to know that I deserve more and I want more. So let go of the karmic debt, let go of the karmic patterns, let go of the karmic thought processes. You have to know that you're worthy of more love, more connection. If there's something or somebody that is not fulfilling enough for you, and if you're expressing that and nothing is changing, then I think the only thing that can change is just you changing yourself out of the relationship. It's okay to evolve and grow. It's okay to close a door. And it's okay to start over. Even if you don't know what's on the other side. But I guarantee you it's going to be something better, because the universe wants what's best for us. Spirit wants us to have the best. It's us that don't realize we deserve the best. We have to choose the best. We have to see the best in us. We have to be the love, the partner, the relationship first within us before we can find it in somebody else. Hi, is it Nasara? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Any questions, comments, soulmates? I can't really see the font on Instagram that well. It's kind of small. But does that make sense for those who just joined? I talked about karmic relationships, karmic connections. We have people in our lives for a reason. All of us have soul ties to the people that come into our lives, meaning our partners, our parents, our siblings. You don't think that they just happen to be in our life by happenstance. Because guess what? As much as we say, I didn't ask to be born, yes, you did. Your soul signed up for this life way before you even came into this world. We, as babies, children, babies pick their parents. So our children picked us just like we picked our parents. And I know now why I chose the parents that I chose, because they both came to teach me some very valuable lessons about my karmic wound with abandonment. Because both of my parents left. And the one thing that I felt was alone and abandoned. Even though that's not what they did. They died. They didn't want to die. But again, when your time is up, your time is up. All our souls have a reason. We have lessons to learn. We have a purpose to fulfill. This is why I'm trying to get us to get in alignment to find that purpose. Because we all have a purpose. And those of us that have been on this journey for a while now, you're probably experiencing that. You're probably having your evolutionary moments right now where you're stepping into your purpose. Maybe you're stepping into relationships, new relationships right now. Hey, Joyous. Yeah. Does it make sense? It makes a lot of sense, right? And I want us to understand we're not in this alone. We're all going through this. And I want to help us go through this with as much peace and sanity as possible, because there's going to be a lot of chaos. And I want us to take the path of least resistance. Because the more you resist, the more chaos. The more you fight and stay stuck and not being decisive and not willing to make a decision and make a change, is the more you're going to be disconnected from yourself. The more physical ailments you'll have, the more mental ailments, the emotional instability. This is why these things are happening. It's shaking us up now, soulmates. Hey, Najee. It's not easy, Laura, but I'm here to help you, sis. I know it's not, and it's a process. Everything is. Change is a process. That's why we have the whole 2025 to prepare for what's next. In love and abundance. Because just as you apply your relationships and the way you show up in your relationships is the same way you show up at work. It's the same way you show up to the world. It's the same way you show up in your financial situations. It is all interconnected. All of it is interconnected. Mind, body, soul, spiritually. We're all interconnected. This is what this period is trying to show us. And now that Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 20 years, we're going to go through a lot of transformational pivots and shakeups and experiences in our connections and our partnerships. I know for me, I've had quite a few pivotal shifts in partnerships. I'm finally finding the right partners now. Thought I had them before, but now I'm seeing I wasn't where I was supposed to be. I've outgrown it. Now I'm aligning to what's meant for me. This is what it means to be in alignment. This is what I mean by aligned liberation. I liberated myself from a situation that was not me, that was beneath me, that was holding me back, so that I can live in alignment with the true path, the true connections, and the true timeline that I'm supposed to be on. We're going through a huge cosmic shift. Some of us are still stuck in the old life, in the old timeline. When Spirit is trying to get us to step into a new version, a new timeline. And the only way we can do that is by healing, releasing, letting go of things and people and circumstances and habits and beliefs and mindsets and patterns, especially in our relationships. We can't continue to be people pleasers. We can't continue to hold it in just because we don't want to get them upset. We got to learn how to set boundaries with love, not meaning we're going to be mean and angry about it. I mean, choosing you first and doing it in a loving way, because the most loving thing that a partner would do is respect you. If they truly loved you, they will respect the decisions that you make. because love support is supportive. It's unconditional love. So even if you and I don't work out together, I still love you enough to see you be happy elsewhere, because I know I'm going to find what's meant for me. But if you're stuck in something that you don't believe that, then, because you're still stuck in a situation that's beneath you. I'm doing good, King. How are you? It's good to see you. And like I said, soulmates, healing is the new sexy. There is nothing more sexier than a man that is healing or doing his healing work. There's nothing more sexier than a woman that has done her healing work or is doing her work. Because what that shows the next person is, I have learned how to heal my wounds, and I'm not going to carry that baggage into this situation with you, because I have evolved and I'm showing up as the best me. So respect me, and I'm going to give you the same in return. This is what it looks like to be in alignment with people that are meant for you, your divine unions, your divine connections. Let's heal, soulmates. It's time. Universe is screaming at us. And who better than to heal with than our partners? Because they are triggering us the most. Because those are where your biggest wounds lie. So again, soulmates, I appreciate you all joining my live. I'm going to conclude on that note. If there's questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Also, pre-order my book. It'll be available February 21st. And I'm doing my Align Liberation Challenge on Facebook. So if you're not following me, please do reach out. It's already underway. Thank you to those that have already joined, that are already doing the work, because this is just part one. Again, we're going through an evolutionary process, soulmates. We're going through an entire revolutionary period where the masses are growing. Men are being triggered. Women are being triggered. So let us trigger together so that we can heal together. We don't have to be messy. We don't have to be chaotic. It doesn't have to get ugly. We don't have to go through mental and emotional distress. We don't have to have physical fights. We can do this in peace, in love, in unity. Allow me to help you do that, soulmates. So reach out if you want to learn more. If you're ready to make these shifts, if you're ready to make these changes, maybe you're stuck right now in a karmic situation and you don't know how to navigate what's next. That's what I'm here to help you do. You don't have to have it all figured out today, but I bet you have all the answers in you. And I'm going to help you find those answers because they're already within. And I'm going to help you find your worth because you are worthy of more. So thank you again, soulmates, so much for reaching out. Feel free to donate if you are enjoying my content. Again, I do this for a living. And it's an energy exchange. And remember, the more you give out, the more you receive. That's karma. Good karma comes back. The more you give, the more you receive. That I do believe in firmly. So feel free to connect, reach out, continue to support, continue to like, share. Make sure you share the news about the book. Even if you don't think that you can use anything out the book, you never know who may need it. Because I guarantee you we're all going through something, or you know somebody that's going through something right now that they're going to need additional support and healing in. So do reach out, do order the book. Always feel free to connect with me, soulmates, on here, on Facebook. You can follow me. Also go to my YouTube, follow me or subscribe to my YouTube, and everything should be in my link tree. But if there's any comments, any questions, send me a DM. Otherwise, soulmates, you all have a good rest of your Monday, and I will be back on Wednesday. I forgot what my topic was about. Oh, living in alignment with your true purpose, because it's time for us to get in alignment. Thank you so much for all of those that continue to support. Thank you for all of those that continue to donate. To my Zens, Chris's, and to my Gus's, and Laura, thank you for always joining and showing up, and everybody that has supported. Please keep coming back, keep reaching out, keep connecting, keep glowing and growing, soulmates. One day at a time. We got this. You all have a good night. Night, night, soulmates. Love you.